Hi, welcome in. You're here with Miko Larry, and today I'm going to be doing some art, or more specifically, I am going to be doing some rigging. So earlier in the week, we did this crab model here. Let me pull up Live2D. This crab model here. So I think now's about time we actually did the rigging for it, and I'll be happy to show you guys kind of how it's done. Hold on, let me check my bit rate real quick. Everything looks good. Okay, yeah. So let's get started. Now, I have my model here. This is the crab we made. Here is everything we have. Here is also everything we have. What is this? Oh, I didn't rename this. Is it too late to... It's fine. I know what this is. Okay. Some of the stuff's gonna be a little oddly named. But as long as we remember what everything is, it doesn't really matter. Now, first and foremost, before you do like anything else, we are going to save because I am paranoid. And then we are going to map this. So select all these. Then you're gonna auto up here. Standard. Okay, and then kind of check to make sure nothing got messed up during that process. If you have a lot of like big assets like this body is, it can kind of get a little wonky. I don't know why that is. Apparently it's a bug. I found the solution for that. If you're missing bits and pieces as a result of that, the solution is to cut everything down into smaller chunks, and I find that that tends to be a little bit better. Now, we need to texture atlas, go 4,000. Never go above this 4,000 one. Again, things start getting like wonky. Okay. Let's... automatic layout? It is automatic layout. Okay. Specify user 100%. And the reason why is because I get rid of all this. The scale up here, you need this to be 100%. If not, you get like pixelation and stuff, and it doesn't look as good. This needs to be 100%. This is everything that's not being used right now. But we need everything to be on these. So let's delete these real quick. And I'm going to make more of these. So I think I'm going to need about 4. So there's another one, another one, another one. And the reason why is because the body alone is so big. Plus the lower face piece. So I think it's probably going to take up... I actually took up less than I thought it was going to. Okay, let's put you down here. Also, for my eyes, I'm going to need an additional 3, so if I don't use them all here, I can just use them later. I like to keep certain pieces of similar design close to each other. And so we have the bodies here. What else should be here? Let's do legs. And kind of, you're just going to find space for everything. No rules other than don't have anything overlap. As long as you keep track of that, you're going to be good. These arms are a little bit bigger. Like, I could be more efficient with the space. I'm not really too concerned about that. Okay. Let's get these claws in here. You can go there. So yeah, don't have anything overlap and don't have anything cut off of this box. And if it does, it's not the end of the world. You can just move it. None of this is permanent. Alright. Cannot see this, though. That's good enough. These are bigger than I realized they were. And these are... make a circle, so that makes sense that they kind of fit together. Let's move you here. You down here. Here. I don't think this did anything. I think this was a lateral movement. Okay. Yeah. Didn't technically do anything, but that's fine. And let's put the claw shines in here as well. Where is... okay. And you. Alright. And the only thing, the boxes don't matter, it's just these, like, green bubble things. That's all that really matters. Alright. So that's the first one. Or I guess, I didn't realize that was 3. Alright, I try to keep certain things together if possible, so like I try to keep the fairies together. I don't know if it really matters, it's more of like a personal taste sort of deal. Let's put the rest of this claw in here. There. The eye mask. So we'll try to put the face in here. Or the eyes, specifically. And it's always surprising just how much space things take up. And you can rotate them too. They don't need to be the original orientation. Just don't mess with the size of them, is the only thing. Size matters. Which direction they are does not. Let's do this. Yeah, everything's always bigger than I realize. Put you here. Then you... didn't quite work out the way I thought it was gonna. That works. You here. Then you. And these are white, so these are kind of easy to lose. So do be careful about that. Mouth. Does that fit down here? Okay, so that fits like that. Let's do the little hat. The hat is tiny. I don't need to be this efficient with the space, but I do want to be. Honestly, 2, if I was like being perfectly efficient with the space, 2 would have been enough. So I could have done like this. This one's tiny. Teeny tiny. Put the fairies in here. Fairy shrimp take up a surprising amount of space. Their wings do at least. Their bodies not so much. Actually, this one's going to be the next big piece. Yeah. Like, it'd probably be smart to put this one in. You can go here. And I don't have space for all three of these bubbles. I guess if I move you up here. Right in this corner. Put you here. You here. And you here. Now, I don't know if this matters, but I am gonna... Make sure you're not clicked on anything. If you move over to this and you have one of these clicked on, it'll carry it over. So just be careful about that. But I don't need this one, I don't think. Alright, so let's add some new ones. Add texture. I'm going to need 3 of these. And I'll show you why here in a minute. But that's good for now. Where is... There it is. Couldn't find the OK button. Okay. Alright, and so we have the texture atlas done. Very important piece. Very important. It is something that you like must do before you get started on this. But yeah, so now if we click on everything, these are the little things that you can move around. So let me just like... And it changes everything. Alright, and so every single one of these will have that. Let me show you the other thing I was going to do. I should have checked that I can do this before getting this far in. Hold up. Okay, yeah, I think this works. Hold on. Shrink you down. I don't think you can actually see in this part. But I'm adding some pieces. Yeah, so we have this now. Now, what this nonsense is are my eyes. So if you look at my eyes, I have like that blue color with the caustics. That's what these are. And I'm going to show you something nifty with these. Let's first pull all these out of this folder, because they don't need to be in there. This folder is technically nonsense. Okay. Now, let's... grab all these. See, these don't have like the texture that the other ones have because I haven't done that yet. But let's move these perfectly in the middle here. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with these. So I have all 3 of them selected. Auto, standard. Nothing kind of deformed as far as I can tell. To be fair, I can't tell anything. Water needs to be down here. There we go. Alright, and then edit texture atlas. So this is why we have these extra ones here. Go over here. Toss you. Toss you. Now these are going to be too big. These are just straight up too big. So I do shrink them down a little bit to get them to fit better. But no. If you shrink these down, you're going to get pixelation. They're not going to be as good looking. And anything that you have outside of this box will get cut off. So I'm going to lose these edges. Let me keep a little bit. There we go. So yeah, those edges I'm going to lose. I like to over-design this. I want it to be cooler than it ended up being. You don't see most of this. Alright, and then we're going to do something for the caustics. I don't know what all this is, but it's kind of nonsense. Honestly, that kind of just fits. Oh, forgot to click off of it. See what I mean? When if you switch over, it just moves it over to the next one. So let's take off this. Go over here. Same deal. All this stuff, I'm going to lose it. I don't really know what this is. It's probably just an issue for me doing the artwork. Okay. Are these 100%? There we go. I couldn't find it because you have to hit on the lines, not on the box. But, okay. So then the eyes will be textured too. Alright, and yeah, see how it kind of trimmed off the edges there? Okay, now, gotta get a drink. Okay. So, this is something I really find really cool. It's an idea that I had for like an old model before I decided to be a sea mage. And I liked the idea so much, I incorporated it into my sea mage design. Which is to have the caustic eye effect. It wasn't going to be caustic eye effect. It was going to be like pink with like stars and sort of like a little bit of an eldritch horror hiding in it. My old design before I switched, my old design concept that I was really playing with and trying out before I decided to be a sea mage was a Cubase style magical mascot who is also a eldritch horror. I really like the idea, but I ended up not sticking with it. Now make sure these sit like above the mask, but underneath. I guess it doesn't matter. So for what I need these to sit underneath the outlines of the irises, these, and the eye shines, because I need those to sit on top of this. If these sit on the top, anything above the mask will just be covered. So, what was the order of operations on this? I think I hit eye mask, clipping ID, and then everything I need to clip into it. So that's going to be... I think that's not right. Yeah, it didn't work. Hold on. So it's the other way around. You think I would figure this out by now? Alright, so I go to water, and I'm going to do the eye masks for clipping ID. Alright, now caustic, and then eye masks, and then the other caustic, and eye masks. Boom. Alright, we have our eyes. Now, I do want to take one of these caustics, two, I think, and I'm going to offset it slightly. You can't really tell that well here, but it just adds texture. Now, this here is going to be... I think it's just reverse eye mask. So first off, let me take the... Where is that? There it is, clip mask. This, I'm going to lower the opacity down to 0, so you can't see it. I was like, what is this? But that's the arms. I forgot the arms weren't all black. Alright, now. Upper eyelid... reverse clipping mask. So instead of only showing what's in it, it's going to show whatever's... It's going to refuse to show what's in it. And then that's going to be clipping mask. And then I'll kind of have to hide this because I can't... I'm pretty sure I can't put the eye mask in that. Reverse clipping mask. Okay. So yeah, I might have to shrink these down, but I'll do that while I'm rigging and not like now, because I want to move these around first. I'll change these around later. But I want to do that for the bottom eyelids too, because I want to get rid of this edge here. Reverse. Clipping mask. Reverse. clipping mask. Alright. Boom. And now you can't even tell it's there. I have a model where I did this a bunch for like texture purposes. I'm pretty sure this doesn't work, unfortunately, but I'm pretty sure because these are being used as masks, I'm pretty sure I can't do this. Yeah. See how that doesn't do anything? And unfortunately, because the other thought would be to do it for this, but I'm already using this for the eye mask. So there's nothing really I can do about this top part other than just manually squish it down. But that's not like the end of the world. Okay. Save, because I have to save every 5 minutes. Whew. This is going to be a generally kind of an easier version of kind of my model. So down here, we have all of our parameters. Now I'm going to organize these into multiple folders. Okay, the floor button's down there. Let me close this. Sorry, I'm trying to find a way... I dropped quite a few frames. Hopefully that's nothing too bad. I need to figure out how to not do that. Probably an internet issue. I need to drop this toolbar. Why? Why? Alright, this might help. I'm going to turn off the music, and I'm just going to keep the rain. I'm hoping that will help with my internet a little bit. Okay, so... I'm going to have this like black bar at the bottom for now, just until I get this. This is parameter. Alright, new folder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we're going to have body. You're going to be head. You are eyeball. Your eye. Your mouth. And your move. Alright, and then just kind of move everything into the appropriate slots. Now, I don't have any hair, so immediately I can just actually remove these hair ones. Breath is going to go into body. Obviously the body ones. No surprise where they go. Cheek and the mouths. I don't technically need cheek, but I'll keep it. I'll create one of these for eyebrow. Oop. Even though I don't have eyebrows, and this kind of doesn't do anything, I'm still going to do it. My general setup is fairly simple. Even my C-Mage self is fairly simple, so it's not like a huge thing. Eyeball goes to eyeball. Then the eye opens. And eye smiles go to eye. And then the angles are similar to body, but they're going to be strictly for your head. This isn't going to be a great model to show it on, but it is important to differentiate between your body moving around and your head moving around. I'm also not a great model for it because I don't track my body. Which if you don't track your body, when you move your head, your body will just move with it. So for this model, my arms and tentacles are, and the fairies are attached to the body, and then the face and the hat are the head. But when I move anything, it all moves. But if I was tracking my body, then I could move my head, and my arms and tentacles would, stay in place. That's not going to be the case here either, because of how simple this model is. Alright, so now, this down here, I can go ahead and actually raise this now. Why is that covered up? That bothers me. Okay, so this here is our parameters. These are these are our parameters. These are our deformers. This is everything that we're going to be moving around and changing. Now, it is important to separate these into the deformers you intend to use. I guess the best way to show it would be to, the best way to describe it would just be to show it. But essentially, you're going to create a sort of a pyramid of everything you're going to be working with. And again, it'll probably be easier to see in practice. So I'll do just that. But essentially, all these parameters here, whatever you tend to move in them, you want these set into deformers, because the deformers are what you're going to move. You don't want to move these things individually. The first time I ever did this, I wasn't aware of that, and I moved every single thing individually. It's such a pain. It is so much work. It is awful. Absolutely awful. Alright, I don't think I'm dropping any more frames now at this point. I think we've sort of settled in. Okay. So, the first one, you want to start big and work your way small. Go macro and then work your way into the details later. Hold on. I'm going to move these bubbles. I want these bubbles to be all the way down behind everything else, so you don't see them inherently. There. So they're there, they're just behind everything. Alright, now. First we're going to do body Z, which is the ability to move my body at a rotation. So, we're going to take everything except for... Did I not move it? I did move one of the balls. Hold on. I hate this. Alright, I'm going to have to do this slightly windowed. Alright. I'm going to take everything except for the eyes and the water effects for the caustics, because I want that to not move when I move my body. So, I'm going to leave those. And then, up here are your deformers. This one right here, rotation deformer. Boom. And then we're going to name it body Z rots. Great. Now, everything except for the water effects will be in body Z rot. Let me fix this, because I did not do this right. So, where is my whites? There you are. You are not supposed to be in there. And then the other one, this is why it's important to have everything very clearly named and labeled. Alright, now, This is how it should look. These are supposed to be outside of it. This is just that. So we're going to move this here, I guess. Let's go here. So when I move this, body moves. I don't know if whatever it needs to be inside the square in order for it to show up in VTube Studio. I'm going to trust that it does. And if it ends up not being the case, then what I'll do later is I'll just increase the canvas size, because you can always just increase the canvas size and resave it. And literally no other changes will need to be made other than that. But if I don't need to change the canvas size, I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, so that's going to be body Z. These caustics are going to have their own separate thing. And it's going to be caustic rot. I choose rot for rotation. Alright, we're going to move it just below the eyes. So that way the eyes sort of do that. Okay. Now, this pathway is essentially done. I do like to add a sort of a reverbing, sort of rippling effect to them later. But it is 100% unnoticeable in my models. It might be more noticeable because there's nothing covering the eyes here, but if I don't do it later, it's not the end of the world. Next one I'm going to do is body Y, which is just the body moving up and down. And that's going to be literally everything that's in body Z. So we're going to grab everything again. And this one, instead of we're doing a rotation, we're going to do a warp deformer. And it's going to be body Z. Nope. Body Y. Crit. Alright. So inside body Y exists inside body Z. And this is kind of how you want to do everything. Think about big movements and then again work your way down. After that, we're not going to go body X yet. We're going to go breath. So this is going to be, if you look at me move, hold on, let me just stop. Let me move over here actually. You'll see sort of just like regular ambient movement. You'll see it with my lower tentacles, and you'll see it with the drop in my hand. That's breath, and it's just a passive effect that goes on. Normally, I would just like warp what I'm doing, but for this particular model, it's a crab. It's not going to be as elastic as I am. I'm going to have the hands move up and down, the legs move, and then I'm going to have the fairies bob up and down slightly, which I don't think I had them do in this current model, which I might go back and fix. So what do I need? I need the fairies. The fairies are going to be warp deformer, fairy, breath. Now, this is where stuff can kind of get a little bit messy, because I'm going to end up with a bunch of these now. Like I said, it's like a pyramid. Stuff starts to branch off. Normally, it takes at least body X for it to start getting messy like that. It's not going to make it that far this time. Let's go the legs. It's going to be each leg individually I'm going to have on a warp deformer. And I'm going to actually combine breath and body X. Let's go leg 1. Leg 1. rot. I just gotta remember what I'm assigning to it. Okay. And then right this. And so when it moves, it's gonna move like this. Okay. So leg 2. Leg 2 rots. Here we have leg 3 rots. I just usually give like a little test, make sure it looks fine. Especially with the rotation things, the rotation deformers. It's good to give them like a little test every so often. Just be careful that you undo whatever changes you make if you don't want that to be, you know, something you have to fix later on. Alright, so that's it for the legs. And then the arms. Now these arms are going to be tied together, so right arm, right claw, right claw, right claw, and then right claw shine. And that's going to be right arm rot. And again, for this particular model, I'm going to be combining the breath and X. So they'll move up and down with the breath, and then as I look around on the X-axis, the arms will also move to compensate. I don't like that. Let's try... They need to be farther down. Or does it need to be higher up? No, farther down. Alright, so I think that's fine. Alright, and then the other arm. That's going to be left arm rots. Creates. Alright, and that's going to go here. I think that's where I put the other one. About. It's not going to be perfect, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be it for the... Or I guess... Can I add... Where? There they are. Drop and drop shine. These should go in the left arm, because my left arm is the one that has them. There you go. Don't want to leave the drop behind. But I do want to also add a rotation deformer for the drop. Create deformer. Drop. Rot. And then for the rotation deformers, the center is going to be the center it pivots around. And this is going to be sort of just a pendulum. So let's move that right there. You there. And so like that. Okay. So that's it for body X. I do want to add, actually, left arm, drop rot. Let's put a warp deformer for you. And this is going to be drop breath. And then I'm going to do another one. drop X, Y. Breath is going to be sort of moving up and down for when I'm breathing. And X, Y is going to be the jiggle physics from me moving around. Okay. You kind of want to put these inside rotation deformers, because if you have them outside, it gets funky. So it's easier just to do it this way. So that's it for body once we get to the body stuff. But I still have all this stuff I gotta move around. Head Z is gonna be this rotating. But everything else is gonna stay. It's gonna be just the head and the face rotating. So I think just grab everything. And I guess just warp deformer. You could do, rotation deformer. I usually do warp deformers for this. My current one, I use a warp deformer to move my head back and forth. Especially with the hat. But this, I can literally, it's a more simple design, so I can literally just do this. Move it more true center to the actual face, as opposed to where it is now, which is the center, including the mask. I can just do that. Maybe move it a little bit down more. I like that spot. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, this is where stuff starts starting to break it down. Okay. So, angle X and Y. Now, that's going to be your face, but not your body, moving side to side for X, up and down for Y. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with the mask quite yet. I'll figure it out. I might have to, instead of using deformer, just warp the actual thing. But you only get 3 parameters, so it should be fine. Actually, before I get to that, let's do that now. I've already started talking about it. Now, if I'm moving this face, let's keep all the eye stuff together. So it's going to be all that. And then I usually call that face XY. Now, this is going to be, I'm going to have all 3 of these together along with the mouth. It's going to be mouth XY. I know how to spell. Eye mask. I somehow forgot to put the eye mask in with the face. So that's going to go in there. And then lips are going to be its own thing. Lips XY. Now, lips are essentially done, because that's just going to be this dark gray part. Face is going to be all the eye stuff, so that's going to be eyeball, eyebrow. Don't have eyebrows. But it's going to be everything that moves sort of, side to side, up and down. Moving side to side is good. Like I said, X and Y parameters are done. So, leave these 3 out. I can take right eye, right iris, right eye shine. And that's going to be right eyeball. Let's go left eye, left iris, left eye shine. That's going to be left eyeball. All right, and this is going to be the reason why I have them separated from the white, because this is going to be the eyes just moving up and down. For just like keeping track of everything's sake, I'm gonna combine these together. So left eye lids. Right eye lids. Normally what I do is, instead of using a deformer for moving the eyelids up and down, I instead just warp them, the actual piece itself, for the parameter. And I also do it a little bit differently, just because it works better for my model. Normally you want to go like top down, just like close the eye. For my specific design, at least for like me, it works better to have both eyelids meet in the middle instead of just the top one going all the way down. Mostly because you can't really see my top eyelid that often, because of like the hat. And also it lets me like squint, which I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So it's kind of what works for me, and that's kind of a lot of what this is like whatever works for you works for you. That was eyeball. Eyebrow. It's gonna be more of the same. Same with like eye smile. Yeah, because again, I don't have eyebrows. Most of my parameters are met. I skip a lot of these parameters because my models are so simple. It means I lose out on some of the expressiveness, but I think I'm as expressive as I need to be. Mouth. Where's mouth? Mouth. Okay, now. Mouth open is like... mouth form is like, I think, when you smile and frown. So... that's going to be the bubbles, because the actual mouth doesn't actually move. It's going to be the bubbles forming. So... let's go mouth open. Technically, I can use the same one for mouth form, I guess. No, I'll move them individually for mouth form. So let's go... no, I'll do actual individually. Mouth smile. 1. Mouth smile 2. And there's probably an easier way to do this than what I'm doing. Not to mention I didn't even number these correctly. Mouth smile 3. Okay, and then again, I'll do these again for... oh, right. Bubble 1 XY. And the reason why I'm doing this one is because I want them to have jiggle physics. And then bubble 3XY. So this will let me have like the idea that they'll like move around, similar to like what my arms have and all that. Speaking of physics, the last thing is move, which is where the jiggle physics stuff's going to be. That's also where my eye movement's going to be, the caustics in the eyes. So, let's go to the fairies. Now, this is just the fairies moving up and down. I need the fairies moving left and right, because they move when I move. The fairies X and Y, and then the wings just X. So, I think it's just L fairy X. So I think it's literally just this easy. R wing X. R fairy X. And then I'll do this again for R fairy XY. Oh no, that was the wing, huh? Yeah, that was the wing. Hold on. Don't want to get those confused. R fairy XY. L wing XY. Sorry. L fairy XY. Are these? They look correct. They don't look correct. Okay, and then for the wings specifically, to get the flapping motion out of them, this is the right one. R wing flap, I guess. And then L wing flap. Now, I think that's it. I'm gonna save all this. I can't think of another parameter that I could like need here. Yeah, so I think we're actually good to start the actual rigging. That was all. That was all just organizing. Okay, so let's start with body Z. So we're gonna do this, and you're gonna select to add keys, and these are your keyframes. So body Z, I want 3 keyframes because I want one in the middle for upright, and then one in either direction for like rotating them. So that's the first one. We'll move him like that much. There's that one, and then that much. So, boom, he moves. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Sorry. That it bothers me if it's not like perfectly. All right, next up is gonna be body Y, which is again up down movement. Be sure you're selecting the correct thing. So body Y. Here, minus is down, up, positive is up. So we're gonna go down here for a bit. And then again, I don't know if he needs to stay on this square. If that's the instance, you can always just raise the canvas size. But yeah. And then see how the crab moves, but the caustics and the eyes don't. That's going to be independent, and that's kind of just something I enjoy doing with my models. All right, now this is going to be the first cool one. This is going to be breath, and I'll show you because this one reacts to physics, and so it's the first one you'll kind of get to see move. All right, so first up, fairy breath. And this one we're just gonna do two. You have your 0 point and then your 1 point. And then the 1 points we're gonna have to go down. I think that's probably good. So check this out. Physics settings. You can see the fairies move. And if I move, I can move my body. Move up and down. And yeah, the fairies just continue to move. So that's what the breath one does. Then we have all these things here. And then also this one is also going to rotate to breath, but that one we're going to do later because the parameters I need to get the eyes to move the way they do, I have saved as a screenshot on my phone, and I'm using that for face tracking. So I don't really have access to that now, but I could just do that off screen. Okay, so can I just do this? Yeah, I can. All right, and just make sure you're on the correct one. All right, so we're here. Let's go this way. Yeah, I like that. And again, make sure these are green when you're changing something. Because if you go and start messing with other stuff, you're changing the base of it. And so you'll have to, like, remember how it went and change it back. Okay. Arm. Arm. And then left arm, there is drop. Let's put you here. And this is going to be like that. Okay, so let's see how this goes. All right, so that's the idle animation. Yeah, so you know, you can kind of see how it moves. Yeah, it's it's something that it didn't turn out quite the way I thought. Oh, you know what I need? I need parameters for the actual claws. Hold on, because I need these claws to open. Let's go. That's gonna be probably body X. Oh, probably a mixture of breath and body X, right? All right, so left arm. We're on left arm. I didn't separate the claw shine. I regret that. Because now, when I move these, those shines aren't going to be attached to the claws. I got to be careful about how much I move them. Alright, so let's go back to breath. We're going to make rotation deformer, L, claw, top, rots. So if I do this, I don't like that position. If I just go center of the claw. Actually, that works. Center of the claw is the move. If I go right there. Okay. And then L claw bottom rots. And it's going to go exactly where the top one is. Okay. So, I can take both of these. Oh, hold up. Drop. I'll take drop rot and I'll attach it to L claw bottom. There we go. So then if I do this, L claw bottom, the drop goes with it. So L claw top, actually both of these. There we go. This one. Let's move you like this. You, we're gonna move like this. And then the drop is do this. Okay, so back to the modeling. Sweet. Yeah, I gotta work on the shine. I didn't think that through. I don't know why I put those as a single thing. Learning experience. I can always just go back and fix it. That's it for left arm. Right arm. Again, it's gonna be right claw bottom rots. Put you at the base here. That looks fine. And then right claw top rots. We're also going to put you at the base here. Looks fun. Okay. Now then, Bochu's is gonna be this. Alright, and then this is top. I'm gonna move you slightly like that. Really wish I'd planned this out better. Bottom's gonna move like that. Alright. Boom. Alright. Actually, you know what I can do? I can do a little bit of a cheat. Right arm. Claw shine. Do one of these. Move this here. And then I can do this. And then, yeah, it, you know, it stays on technically. This one, same deal. Do one of those. Honestly, there are better ways to do this. I'm kind of just being lazy with it. Don't look at it too much. Yeah. All right. So that's breath. Next is body X. So I'm gonna take all these same parameters and I'm gonna reuse them for the second one, which is the body turning left and right. I don't really have a body in this one. My head is my body, but I'm gonna have the head be separate. So all these, I'm gonna hit X. Boom. Now this one's nice. Minus, these directions are gonna be the directions that they actually move in. So minus here, everything's gonna go in that. Is if he was looking that way. I don't track my face again, so like whatever direction my face moves, my body also moves. So if I'm looking to the left or his right, let's do this. Dis. Is that like 4? It's like 3. Dis. So I do that. And then right arm goes down more. Left arm goes up more. 18 degrees. What do I have right arm at? Minus 38. Okay. Boom. Alright, and then this direction. It's going to be leg 4. Going to do this. This do this. Again, this is going to go up now. This is going to go down now. So I figured that'd be the case. All right, now we're going to do a little thing called, we're going to do this button here. We're on leg 1. This button here, synthesize corners, and it's going to be body X and breath. So synthesize. So see how I don't like lose this one? We're going to do that with all of them. Synthesize corners. Yes. Just make sure it's the correct parameters. So corners, body X and breath. Corners, body X and breath. Synthesize corners, body X and breath. Synthesize corners, body X and breath. And the reason why I'll show you, like I did kind of accidentally show you, but see how like when like it's at full breath, it still kind of like moves appropriately. If you don't synthesize corners, it'll just kind of like default to one or the other depending on I think which one you did first. So synthesize corners, the computer tries to figure out like, all right, what's the middle ground between these? All right. So that's it for body. Next we go to head. Actually, no. I gotta do the fairies. So they only need body X right now. Where are the fairies? Fairy breath. Alright. Body X. Now, who do we got first? Let's go left fairy. If I'm looking this way, you're going to be over here. Yeah, let's say you're going to be over here. Fairy wing. You're going to be here, but you're also going to do one of these. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfectly a straight line, but for me it has to. There we go. Okay. And then kind of move this over a bit more. Nope. And do that. Okay. Now move this over a bit more. Sweet. So, when I'm looking that direction, this one moves over like that. And you are going to move... How much do you move over by? Sorry, I'm like literally putting my hand up to the screen right now. Alright, a little more than a full body length. Alright, now wings. Wings are going to go in the same direction. Okay. I move you all the way over here. Okay, so when I turn that way, that's how the fairies move. I'm going to actually move that. It looks like one moves way more than the other. I don't know if that's the case, but it feels like it. No, why does it feel like it? Maybe it's because of the wings. Optical illusion. Alright, now the other direction. Funny enough, other direction is... same direction. Is that good? Perfect. Okay. Now the wing. This time we're going to go this way. And yeah, this is how I literally just do my fairy shrimp. So that's how they like work now, currently. Let me move this over a little bit. Make sure I'm still in frame, because I'm very much leaning over this direction. Alright. There we go. Boom. And that's how they go. Now, it goes over the shoulder a little bit. Right fairy. I think just about perfect. Alright, then the wing. Beautiful. Now let's move you over here. Alright. Boom. Alright, so that's it for the body ones. Now we can start getting ready on the face. Let's just save, because I don't want to have to do this again. Alright, next up is head. So it's going to be head Z. Now again, we literally just did a head rotation deformer. So let's put this here. 30 degrees. I'm not going to do a full 30. I'm going to go... that much is good. There we go. That's probably good enough. I don't have to need, you know, the full range of movement. But I will say a good tip: always start with your z-axis first. Your x and y's are a little more specific. Z-axis is big movement. So start with your z-axis, have everything else fall under that. That way, all of this stuff will just automatically follow the z-axis. It'll just make your life easier. Let me check my recording real quick. All right, no new frames dropped. Good. All right, let's open this up. I can close fairy now. I don't think I'm gonna move the hat at all. I think the hat's gonna stay there. Now, face X and Y. Let's start with X-axis first. Where do I want to start first? I just feel like the eyes are gonna be a pain because of this mask here. Let's do the lips. Lips Y is gonna be super easy. I mean, technically, I could just do, just for now, get these, that, and that. All right. So with lips, X and Y. Okay. Now, minus is down. We're gonna do. No, let's not do that. Let's go. Kinda? Let's do this. This is gonna be, what happens when I look down. So I want it to be kind of like this. Kind of smooth these out a little bit. I don't want to drop these. There you go. I was trying to grab that one. I think that's good. It doesn't look good now. It will later. And then up is going to be when he's looking up. Can I just do that? And just move these out. Is this something I can just do? I think this works. Yeah. All right. Now, let's go mouth XY. Down. You're going to move down. But also you're going to kind of be like shorter. So you're going to do like this. Let's go shorter still. I think it's going to have unintended consequences with the bubbles, but I think that's fine. All right, and then for up, I can't actually see. Where is the lower eyelids? Okay. Boom. Okay. Now, face. This is where stuff will start to get a little weird. Because if I move all this down, so what I need to do, all right, hold up, face, go here, delete all keys. All right, and then face again. One of these. There we go. Problems are fixable. The clip mask, I want to take outside of this. Clip mask should be here. Okay, so now, and that goes down. Where is it normally? Okay. This should have been all the way around too. I didn't think of that. Huh. So I made some inherent mistakes here. Oh, actually, I could do that. Hold on. I mask some Y. I can just do this. That works. I will have to fix this, which I can do. Again, same method. For now, let's just do this. And you're going to go... Okay. Clipping mask. Let's make this taller. And then eye mask. Make this shorter. Fortunately, if I do this, it kind of doesn't cover the top. So I can do... this. That's terrible. Undo that. Alright, so I think I can just move this here. Like all the way down here. Oh, you know what I can do? This. Give this here. Give this here. So I think this is good. Okay. Yeah. So this kind of works. And then I just got to fix clip mask. X, Y. If I do this, does this work? Not really. Okay. Clip mask. I do want the y-axis for the clip mask. Kind of works. Okay. So what is this? Art path tool. Now let's go deform path tool. We'll do this. Okay. Needed that. Sorry, this is getting away from me a little bit. There we go. Probably not the way to go about it. Did I, like, grab nothing? I might have grabbed nothing. Okay. Let's do that. Do this again. I'm going to delete all these. Oh, I just mass delete them. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know it was a thing. Okay. Hold on. Now, why are you like this now? Did I accidentally move you? I must have accidentally moved. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Let's go 0, enter. We'll delete these again. So it's not moving now. Clip mask. There we go. Yeah, fixing issues can be a pain. Let's save this. And after I do all this, I still got to do the x-axis. Clipping mask. It's these in-betweens I don't like. Okay. No. Path tool. Okay, so let's give this a try. Move these down. Oh, I'm catching stuff. Kind of. Move it farther down. I think that works. That's good enough. All right, now the other one. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. So all the way down here. All the way down here. Not that far down. I think that's good enough. Again, the eyes are poking through. That's not going to be a problem when I finish that part of the eyes. This is a problem. Here. Do clip mask. Delete. And let's kind of just move this up like this. There we go. Now, honestly, that probably won't be a problem either. Eye mask. There we go. Move that there. Boom. Honestly, I'll leave that like it is. It's just eye stalks now. Alright. This looks more like a crab. Honestly, I should have done that to begin with. Because that looks way more like a crab than that does. I'm going to regret that later. Hey, Scooter, how's it going? Crab, yeah. I just saw your chat. I don't know if you're still here. Yeah, just working on a model. Hope your day's going well. Alright, now we're going to do head X. Because that's... Yep, that's everything I need for Y-axis. I get the feeling that the in-betweens are going to be a real pain. I get the feeling that this didn't do what I want it to. Is this like your 2.0? No, I'm going to have this as like a redeem. Or if, you know, something that's just feeling crabby. I just want something sort of simple and kind of easy to work with. But I'm still going to be a squid. Alright, what do I want to start with? Lips, I guess. Yeah, let's start with lips. Right. So it's like Chibi Maka. In theory, I think in practice this thing's actually bigger than I am. I should probably shrink it. Oops, nope, needed that. There you are. Let's not do that. Let's do that, and then this. That works. And then this. Is that right? Ah, seems like it. Alright, and now, again, in this direction. You here. You here. Alright, I think that's correct. Okay. So this doesn't look like it's really doing anything just yet, but it will with this. I'm going to move that over here. And also, I'm going to move these like this. Do I want to move this? No, I don't want to move that one. Okay. And then move it over a little bit more. Do I like how that came out? And it's not going to be any better. I'm going to stick with that. Okay. So, mouth again. And then it was, what, this? I think that's good. Sweet. All right. Now, now we get to the part where it gets a little more complicated. I should have made this way easier on main than I did. All right, face. Let's just do this. What am I? Oh, I'm like, what am I clipping into? Nope. I needed that. Let's do one of these. I think that's good. I need to move this guy down here. I'm having trouble with this. Hold on. Let's not worry about that yet. Let's go with you. Oh, I didn't even have that marked anyways. I'm glad I didn't save that. I didn't save that, right? Yeah, you look good. All right. So I'm going to do this. And then move this over with the eye. And then move this over. Hold on. Okay. Clipping mask. This. This. Huh. Don't know why it's doing that. Not a fan. Put this here. I think it's where it's supposed to go. Alright, that's gonna be a roll pen. It was less of a pain than I thought. Does that work? I think that works. Let's save that. And then eye mask. We're also going to do one of these. And now we're going to fix this. Okay, that's what I kind of thought was going to happen. So what's... let's save this for now. I can undo that. Click mask. Do that, and then raise this here. Yeah, this is... I didn't think this through in the designing process. Or, like, not well enough. But this kind of works. This does kind of work. Actually, let's take this. Let's do that. It works better now. Can I mirror this? I do not. I don't want to do this a second time. Motion mirroring? Does this do what I want it to do? Motion mirroring. I don't know why it said that. Let me undo that. Control Z. Okay. Let's go with face first. That came out better than I thought it would. The issue is the corners is not going to work. It's going to be a lot of work. Can I just mirror these? Motion mirroring. Okay. Nope. Gonna undo that. Motion mirroring. Okay. Clip mask. Does this just work? With common parameters not selected. Parent deformer not mirrored. Okay, I can undo this if I need to. No, that's actually perfect. Okay. Oh, that saves me so much work. Alright. Now we're cooking. Now. Synthesize corners. Angle X, angle Y, yes. I should probably synthesize all of them first and see what the damage is. So I mask, synthesize corners, yes, clip mask, synthesize corners, yes, mouth, synthesize corners, and lips, synthesize corners. Okay, so we have looking up and down. Yes. Side to side, no. And now the corners. Little janky there. Little janky there. But for the most part, that's not bad. I can fix this. Okay. That one doesn't have that little like jank to it. That's just the clipping mask, I think. So I can do this. That might be how it has to go. Okay, so that works. This, I think, is the clipping mask again. That works. Where? There. Sweet. Oh, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it'd be. It's not pretty by any means, but it's doing what I need it to do. I kind of wish I had started with me looking up and that this was the defaults. But I didn't think this was going to look that good. I am regretting now that this is my normal. Even though it's not bad, it's just like, it could be better. But I will take that. That is a win that I don't have too much work to do off that. Save, because I'm not doing that again. Okay, so head is done. Eyeballs. Eyes? Yeah, eyeballs. Alright. Now. Ugh. Where is face? Sorry, I'm getting some soda. Okay. Wait, no, not face. Face? Okay, yeah, it's down here. Alright, eyeball. Right eye, left eye. Now, I could just probably do this. Do that. Do that. Alright, so starting with the left eye, X and Y. Alright, so, pretty simple. Right eyeball, same deal. Now, normally I would have like eyelashes, eyelids to cover this up. I don't have them with this current design. So that means I'll have to use some warping to get this done. But that's not the end of the world. Should I do this? No. No, I'll go individually. So I can do this. Do that. And then kind of the same deal here. Do this. And then I will fix this and this later. I just need to get these basic movements in, and then I'll do the fine-tuning. Normally, this would look better, but the cost of effects kind of has made interesting problems for me. Alright, so that is good. And same deal here. There, that like that. Okay. Sweets. And now y-axis is, and this is kind of why I kind of left these like this until after I did this. So this is down. And then this is going to be up. How much of the eye is showing? Okay, that's good. Alright, now, to clean this up, let's, left eye, nope, no. Left eye. There you are. We're gonna just do that. Let's do this, just be safe. That's good. Now right eye, I'm gonna do the same. Alright, now I think just this. That works. You know, sometimes the solutions are like really easy, and sometimes they're not. Alright. Boom. And then center. I can go ahead and finally left eye. Do this. And then right eye, same deal. What am I selected on? That was the eyelid. Where is right eyeball? Alright. And then the only things I need to worry about are these eye shines here. So left eyeball, iris shine. That's also an issue. Okay. So IX, so eye shine. Gonna do one of these, and I'm going to bring this in. Bring it into the eye. Bring it in more, better to the eye. Okay. And then right eyeball. I'm gonna do the same deal. Should also like order our operation of these so they aren't sitting on top of the outline of the eye. Would probably be nice. Alright, looks good. Again, that's gonna have to change. Alright. And then same deal. Beautiful. Working perfectly. Okay, now, left eyeball, synthesize corners, eyeball XY, yes. Right eyeball, same deal. Eyeball XY. Eye shines, same deal. And just make sure everything looks good. All right, now I can test these out. All right, so, looking back and forth, up and down. That can use some work. Not the prettiest. All right, so let me fix these. You know, sometimes you gotta do a little fixing. The eyeball goes here, so... Oh no, there it is. What is all this then? That's fine. Okay. Other direction. That's good. I can fix this. There we go. There you are. You would find them eventually. It can kind of get kind of easy to lose track of like all your stuff over here, especially when you have a lot of... How does the blue pupil know not to clip outside the eyeball when moving? It doesn't technically. I had to essentially tell it not to. So see how like this... These aren't like perfect ovals, they're kind of like cones. I made these parameters, you essentially set like keyframes. So I'm telling it, this is how I want this to look at this keyframe, how I want this to look at this keyframe. And then I have to do the same thing with this direction. It doesn't know how to do these corners automatically. So you have to tell it to synthesize them. And then even after you do it, it's not perfect. So I have like a little bit of this clipping here. These are kind of wonky shaped. It's not like a perfect science. Sometimes you get lucky. And actually, a normal like design for a model, you would have a clipping mask. So essentially you would tell it, hey, the eyeballs never fall outside of the eyeball. But I'm already using a clipping mask for these irises. So unfortunately, you can't do multiple clipping masks. So for example, I gave up the ability to not have these fall outside the eyeball in exchange for allowing my eyes to do that effect. Okay, so the mask is in Live2D, not the image itself. Yes. So like what I have here, what you can do is you can have the eyeball, and then you have a mask, essentially like a, almost like a chroma key, telling like, hey, I want these select items to stay within this and only exist here. And so that's what I did with the irises here and these caustics. But you can't layer them. So unfortunately, because I'm doing that, I can't keep the irises inside these eyeballs. So I kind of have to do these by hand. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, it is what it is. Where is... Right. There you are. Let's move you here. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Right eyeball. Can I just do this? I think that works. It's not the best, but it does work. Alright, and then this one again. Okay, so how's that look? That's kind of fine. I think that's good enough. Okay, cool. Thank you for explaining. I like seeing behind the scenes. Yeah, I thought this would be really cool to show. I kind of made a simple model just for the sake of kind of showing this off. A more complex model would have way more moving parts than kind of what I have here. But even that being said, I do have all this. But I know like some have like 500 moving parts or something like that. That was eyeball. Yeah. Next is eye. Honestly, I'm pretty close to being done with this. I have save. Just the eyes left, the eyelids, and the mouth, and then the physics. Physics I might have to do mostly off screen. Eyes. Now this is eye open and eye smile. Where are my eyelids? There they are. I put these in warp deformers, but how I do them, they don't really need to deform. I have to kind of do them modify the actual piece itself, because I can't use the tools I need on the deformer. I just realized I might have an issue here. Hold on, let me check something before I get into this. Open head, open eyeball. If I move view, eyes look fine. Eyes look fine. The issue is this one. Eyes kind of work. I'll have to clean this up. Okay. A little jank, but I can always fix it. Yeah, let's go nope, not eyebrows. I do not need eyebrows. Yeah, eye open. This is left. So, left eyelids. Go. And this is just going to be two pieces because there's no in between. It's just going to be open and close. Let's do this. This is bottom. This tool lets you create like a path. So I'm going to do a path here. Let's do this. I think this is halfway down the eye. You. I don't know if this is how this actually works, but it's what I do. And then kind of just go across this. Just because you do need an anchor point. Otherwise it will kind of mess you with your stuff. Alright, so the eye halfway closed is going to be like this. Alright, and then, yeah, simple as that. Now, this one here, same deal. Let's go here, here. Can't actually see this one because I have a clipping mask here. So I'm kind of guesstimating a good spot. Alright, and then... Oh, that works way better than it has any right to. I can't believe I, like, got that to do what I needed it to. Mostly. That can be a little fixed. Can I pull this out? No. Okay. Yeah, so. There we have, this eye. No need for synthesizing corners. No need for mirroring. The only thing is, normally for most models, you'd have just the top eyelid go down to the bottom. But for my style, it fits better to have them meet in the middle. Alright, so that was left. Now is right. Alright. And then, yeah, same deal. Bottom. Alright, that's the middle, I think. Hold up. There we go. That freaks me out. There we go. Bring this up here. You get a little bit like wonky edges sometimes. But you have these to sort of clean that up. Alright, I have a work contacting me. I will get to them in a bit. Eyelids meeting in the middle gives me that fishy look. Yeah, it does. But it fits really well with my current model because you can't see my top eyelid most of the time. So being able to bring that up to the middle helps with like expression, and also I can kind of like glare, which was something that was like really important for me with my model. Let's put this here, 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 here. I don't know if there's a rhyme and reason to like how many you put of these and like where. Just as long as you have something to sort of fight against this moving. Not now employer, I'm making art. Oh, it's not even employer, it's teenage staff. You know, kind of in charge. But also, the answer is shrug. They need a key that I physically have, and so nothing can be done. But I am going to be in town tomorrow, so I might just stop by and do it for them. Alright, and that's that opening and closing. One thing, so I didn't modify a deformer, I modified the original item. Each item, whether it's a deformer or the originals, can only belong to 3 different parameters. So like these now belong to 1 each eyelid. I'm gonna start doing some eye smiling, and those are gonna be another parameter. So you do have to be careful if you're doing it that way. Let's clear these up. Alright, so I smile. This is left eye. I smile. Alright, so left eye smile. Again, just the 2 points. And then this is like that, how my eyelids come up. So it's going to be one of those. I think it's just here, 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 and then some anchor points here. And then I can do this. Oh, that did not turn out super well. Let's move these out. Why did this do this? Hold on, what? Oh, because this warped. Okay, hold on, let's move this like this. You know, sometimes stuff does weird stuff. How does this look? You know, the corners work well for me. I just noticed the extraordinarily tiny hat. Oh yeah, yeah, little mini hat. Um, Instead of doing like the edges, which I have for my current one, I might just do right in the middle. So let's delete these, and let's try this again. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a little star on it too and everything. It's not as detailed. I kind of didn't want it to be. And then can I just do this? And one of these? So round everything out. When you start like moving stuff, it does get a little janky. I don't know how to avoid that other than having way more work points. That might be something I have to look into in the future. He looks less happy and more disturbed. It's cute. Alright, right eye smile. Oh, and everything's swapped. It's as if you were in his eyes. So it's not like your right, it's gonna be his right, which is always something you gotta remember. Not the end of the world, but it can mess with your model a bit. This, and then just some of these. Alright, and then I think that's just as high. Hope your day's going well. Yeah, so that looks equivalent. Kinda. Alright, so now he does look more happy. So I did these backwards. Can I... Alright, I guess I just gotta redo that. Place this here. So that's not smiling. This is smiling. Let's move this up here. Always be sure to double check your work. Alright, I think that's fine. There we go. It happens. Alright, so these are done. Eyebrow. I do not physically have eyebrows. I will say, because this model also does not have eyebrows, but is it form? I think it's form. If I raise my eyebrows, my irises shrink, and if I like lower them down, I do get like mean. So I'm gonna do that. And again, it's gonna be the same parameters, but these ones are gonna be tops, and then it's gonna be actually my irises. All right. So eyelid top. So I don't actually remember which one's which. Hold on. Can I look up Live2D parameters? The main website has all of its parameters listed for its like regular standard parameters. And if you don't know what an item does or what the effect is, if it's plus or minus, you can always check that out. Eyebrow angle, eyebrow deformation. Minus is anger. Okay. I didn't know which direction was anger and happy. That makes sense. Okay, so left eyelid, left brow. Doop. Minus is going to be angry. Okay. I need to cover these the eye shines. All right, let's work on that a little bit more. Yeah, you can have more these little like deforming points. I just go standard. It for what I'm doing, it's really all I need. Let's actually do this a little bit. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's fine. The expression is not going to be super big. That's not the end of the world. It's not going to be like my main model. I'm not like super married to this being like perfection. Mostly I wanted this just because I think it'd be a fun little redeemable thing. And then also kind of to showcase Live2D Cubism. I think it'd be cool when I do models in the future to stream it. Alright, this is where my OCD starts kicking in. I think that's good enough. I'm gonna pretend I can't see it. Alright, now for other one is when the eyebrows are raised. So I can move away from eyelids because I'm gonna need eyeballs for this one. Actually, it's just the regular, the full, yeah. Okay. Now, like I said, they only do 3 parameters. Each of these already have 2. I can do this third one for each of these. After that, it'll start giving me like warnings, and it'll start getting funky. Okay, so do this. And I can do... Alright, I should have held shift on that. That's probably too small. Alright, that's good enough. Good enough's going to be kind of the name of this one. Alright, now, this guy here is going to be right eye. I think this is about the same. Slightly bigger. And right in the middle. Sweet. Alright. So that's it for those. Save, because I have to constantly be saving. Now, next is the mouth. Normally, a mouth consists of different pieces that like open and close as you move them. I did not choose to do that. So mouth form and mouth open. I don't actually know which one you do first. I don't usually use mouth form. My mouth's just a dot, so I don't have like, when I smile or frown, it doesn't like change how my mouth looks. The same is going for this. So let's just start with mouth open, I guess. I already have mouth open top, so it's my higher parameter. I'll do this one first. Do that. And the entirety of this is going to be... Why did I do this way? Hold on. I really buried these. Alright, you three are going to be mouth open. And when you are open, your draw order is going to go up 1. Up 1, and up 1. Okay, so what that does is I have these bubbles. When I open my mouth, the bubbles form. When the mouth is closed, the bubbles are not there. A little concerned. I might have to do it... Hold on. I have to go this way. This, delete that, reapply it, and then when it's at 1, yeah, so this is how I'm going to do this. Order matters. Okay, so now if the mouth is open... No, I guess it doesn't matter. So I wonder if that means only if it's like all the way open am I going to get these bubbles? If that is the case, I might have to do this instead. Put this extra little I'm blanking on the term. Keyframe. Put a little keyframe on it. Make that 50. 501. At this point, it would be faster to just type it. It was actually faster to just type it. Okay. There we go. So when my mouth opens, instead of like an actual mouth opening, I'm going to get these like bubbles. Because crabs blow bubbles. Alright. And the mouth closed, no bubbles. Mouth form is like a smile, I think. Like smile and frown. I guess it would just be this. Oh, I separated all these. Alright, hold on. Really give myself some more work here. Do this, do this. Let's do this so I can actually see the bubbles. Alright, with the mouth smile. This is a smile. Bubbles will be up here. You'll be up a little bit more. And you'll be up a little bit more. When frowning, you'll be down more. You'll be down more. And you'll be down more. So not happy, happy. Okay. I don't have to sensitize corners for this because they are all separate deformers. Cheek, no cheeks. I think all I have left are the physics. Alright, so move. I'm going to have to actually fill this with stuff. So I have one for Bubble 1, XY. No. Bubble 1X. Bubble 1Y. Bubble 2X. Bubble 2Y. Because I need these to be on separate parameters because I need them to be independently moving. I'm essentially going to give these jiggle physics Y. And so they do kind of have to move independently to do that. The only other one is the drop X, drop Y. Oh, I also didn't change the drop for breathing. And then fairy X. I'm not going to separate the fairies, I'll have them be together. Fairy Y. And then wing X, but no wing Y. This is just for the flapping, to get the effect that they're flapping their wings. First, let's go back up to body, breath. Where is left arm? There we go. For that, I'm going to do this, going to do that, going to do this. The reason I did that is when breathing, it'll cause the drop to kind of go like up and down, almost like a gravity sort of thing. This is the idle animation, by the way. Okay. Now, I'm gonna save again, because I save way too often. Turn that off. Don't need the drop now. Let's start with these bubbles. Okay, so what are you? Bubble 1. I should have paid more attention to these. Alright, so moving X and moving Y. It's gonna move like this. That's probably a little intense, actually. Let's do that. Now, same one. Minus, so that's going to be down. Again, that might be a little intense. Up. All right, and then both of these, bubble XY, because I have one parameter, one deformer, 2 parameters, those will be synthesized. Okay. And I don't fully care too much about those. Alright, actually, I'm gonna probably have to do all this. Alright, bubble X. Bubble 2. Alright, so, same deal. Add 3 keys. It's X, so let's move you over. Then other direction. And then 3 keys here. I'm going to set this to 0. Be sure these are 0. If you're moving it on a separate deformer, if you have it all the way over, then you're not doing it at the base, you're doing it while this is here. So it does like weird stuff. this is minus for y, so that's going to be down. Plus is up. Synthesize corners. Make sure it's the correct ones. It is. Let's move this back up just so I can see. Bubble 3. 2. 1, 2. Alright. Then down here. Oh. Make sure I'm actually at a different keyframe. 1, 2. Synthesize corners. It is bubble 3. Okay. Now, I'll show like why I'm doing that later. Next we have the drop. That was left arm, left claw bottom, drop breath, drop XY. Alright, so first up X. Again, 3 keyframes. We're gonna... Hello? Okay, we're gonna do this. Not that. That. Alright, so, a little wiggle. I think it can be a little finicky. Alright. And, we can do this. Lower. And then upper. There we go. And then be sure to synthesize corners. Drop X, drop Y. That's correct. Okay. Now, next up is the fairies. Where are the fairies? There they are. I don't need anything else. Head rots. There you are. Okay. Now, the fairies are going to move X and Y. Let's go... Oh, there you are. I was really concerned by the size of this box. But I think that's just because that's fairy breath. Alright, so, let's do the entire... No, alright, actually... This is the moving side and side. So that would have been bad. Alright. Left fairy XY, and then left wing XY. Put this here. Put this here. Now I can do that. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, minus. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't synthesize both their corners, can I? Did that do both? It did do both. Okay. Now, the next fairy. Alright, so right fairy and the right fairy wing be fairy X, fairy Y, Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so. One, two, three, four. Let's go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't need to do that. I can just synthesize corners. Okay. So, I don't know if both my fairies are perfectly in sync. Actually, it looks like they are. And then the wings. So let's go with right wing flap. And in both instances, it's going to be just move you, move you, move you. And then this. And then this. Okay. And then I can... I'm going to do this other one. But essentially, you know, flaps the wings. And then, I don't know how it works exactly. But... Oh, wait, does it not work? It does work. Okay. I might have moved him a little too close. Is that how my wings normally work? Yeah, I think I moved them too close. Doesn't quite look right. Let's move them a little bit farther apart. I think that's better. I think that's about where I normally keep them. Okay. So yeah, wings flat. This one is going to be the same thing, just again. Just so it kind of gives it more of like a flutter. All right, and then that was right, so then left. Left wing flat. Nope, no, 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 nope, nope. Be sure to do this first. There we go. Very important. Okay. Do this. Do this. This. Okay. Boom. Now, select both of these. I don't know if I have to select these or this, but I'm going to motion mirror. Flip horizontally. There we go. Little wing flaps. Save. Now, that's it for these. All that's left is physics. Now this is where it starts getting weird. So we have the model here, and we can see him kind of doing his thing. I'm out of soda. Alright. Now, what should I go with first? Let's do... mouth. Name. I can spell. No. Alright, so input settings. This is what's gonna affect what it moves. So stuff doesn't just like move automatically. It has to be like tied to something. So like the fairies fluttering and moving around is tied to my mouth moving, and my eyes blinking. To get these bubbles, where is mouth? To get these bubbles to move around, I'm going to tie them to the inputs. You know, I probably, instead of doing... No, that's probably fine. I was like, maybe I should have done... instead of having them just, like, changed it, then opacity, but I think that's good. Input settings, add... And I'm going to do mouth open and mouth form to affect the bubbles moving. You're going to need to raise these. You only get a total of 100, so per thing. So you have position and you have angle. They're both deformers. They're not rotating, so they're both going to be positions. But you have a total of 100, so if I do 101, I can't do anything in the other. So let's go 50 and 50. I probably should do more for mouth open than mouth form, but I think that's probably fun. Let's add pendulums. I'm going to need 1 per item. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So add pendulum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot see the bottom of my screen. I don't know why this is the way it is. Alright, now output settings. This is going to be what you want to move, and you need an output. You need a pendulum for each output. So add, go down to move, and just all these guys. Boom. So when mouth opens, see the little pendulum down there kind of moves. Oh, you do not see everything that I see, huh? Wait, are you not seeing? Why is that the case? Hold on. Let me see. Head source. Physics settings. Okay. I can run over that again if needed. That was really weird. Yeah, so input settings. This is what you want to cause motions. So I have mouth open for whenever I open my mouth, it will cause physics to happen. And mouth form when I like smile and stuff. You have a pendulum. You need to have a pendulum for each output setting you choose to have. I have 6 items. So I need 6 pendulums, and it's going to be the bubbles moving back and forth and whatnot. Now, like if I do mouth form, there's like a little bit of movement there, not a lot. So let's change some of these settings. Scale, let's go 40. 40. 35. 35. And stuff becomes like more dramatic as it goes like down. 20. 15. 15. 15. There we go. So if I yeah, so you can see stuff's moving now. Stuff's really moving. Bubble 1, which should be this left one here, not moving as much. It is kind of just how it goes. Actually, let's drop these. Let's go 35 to begin. 30. 30. 25. And that we'll keep those. Alright, still very dramatic. These down here also, like, affect stuff. Could not tell you what. I do know that I have to set these settings to get my constant spinning motion, but like I said, I'll do that later, not on stream. Okay, let's lower this more. Let's go to 30, 25, 20, 20, 15. Okay, so all right, these are too high. If it goes over 100, it'll like cause it to like do weird. You can probably see it like clipping. See how like that one was kind of like popping in and out. Let's switch you down to 15. You down to 10. You down to 8. You down to 5. There we go. Let's take you down to 10. That's better. I like how this is coming out. You're 2. 2's a little high. Let's go 15. Yeah, I like how this is coming out. All right, and that is physics. Now, I gotta do one for all these. So up next we'll do drop. So mouth, we'll add a new one. We'll name you drop. Be real easy. Input settings. Add. Let's go body X and body Y. Again, we'll set these to 50. Again, I probably could do more for body X than body Y, because I don't think my thing even tracks my Y-axis. It's just going to be, I think, literally 2. So I just need 2 pendulums. Output settings, add, then literally just the drops. Okay. Let's go 20. Go hit enter. 15. So body X. Yeah, it's kind of jiggly, kind of wobbly. That's good enough. All right. Oh, I can make this bigger. Actually, I think I've seen like people have setups where it's like this, like everything's like over to that side, and this isn't really visible. This isn't visible. I should point with my mouse and not with my hands. On account you can't see my hands. Alright, so next we're going to do fairies. There is one more, which is the acoustic of the eyes to get this effect. But I'll probably just do that on my own time. Alright, so last one, add the fairy shrimp. Alright, input settings. I usually do eye opens and mouth open. And mouth form. Let's do mouth form too. So 25 each. Again, you can have more or less depending on kind of what you think you'll need. I'll only need, like, it doesn't really matter. I know already I'm getting more mileage out of my eyes getting the fairies to flap their wings than I am from my mouth. Output settings, pendulum, I need 3. Cancel. Let's do this. You mess with settings and it kind of messes with settings. Output settings, add, and then vary X, Y, and wing X. All right. So I closed. Can't really tell it's doing anything just yet. 30. Let's go 20. Let's go 20 again. All right, so boom. And again, you can mess with these however you need, for however you need them. Physics. I'm gonna raise wing X. 30 again? Is that too much? That might be too much. Let's go 25. That's fine. All right. And then, yeah, all that would be left is the caustic of my eyes. So, hold on. I'll have to change the setting again. I should just, like, have it both open and saved. Physics settings. Cancel. What did I do? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Scared myself for a second. All right. I should definitely fix this. How did I do this? Okay. So, the only thing I have left to do, aside from saving, is the caustic of my eyes. So let's close all this, open this, and that's to get this effect here to go. That's literally all I have left. And I can just do that on my own time. Again, I have the settings saved. But for future reference, once you do that, you'll go to File, Export for Runtime, Export as MOC3. This here, you're going to go 5.0. You don't want to go more than that. Pixels per unit, you want all this to make sure you match your canvas and all that. Hit OK. It'll ask you for a location. If you're going with VTube Studio, you kind of have to have, it has a folder it needs to be in. So 2D models, and it would be in here. So I would have, to make a new one, new folder, crab, VTS. Open. And then I would just save it in there. And I'll just go ahead and do that. And then when I open up Live2D VTube Studio, it should be in there. Sweet. Okay. Now, oh, there's a nice little thing down there. The little coordinates for where my mouse is. That should be it. Again, I plan on doing this whenever I want to make like a new model. I'll do one stream where I'm doing the art. Honestly, it might have to be more than one stream because rigging for me is significantly faster than drawing is. Plus, the two model ideas I have are a little complex. It's going to be a lot. Definitely bite off more than they can chew. So it might be multiple streams. But yeah, it'll consist of one or more art streams, and then I'll do some rigging streams. And I hope to make that like a regular thing. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope to catch you guys again. Bye.